A year ago, I tested and ranked the major AI frameworks at the time. Since then, a lot has changed. Some exploded in popularity, some quietly stopped evolving, and a few became the default for production teams. So this is the 2026 version. Not based on the hype, but based on what teams are actually building with and what's the most likely to continue thriving in 2026. So if you're starting today, this video might save you hours and weeks of hustle by choosing the right fit for your goals. First, let's define our criteria. So the ranking criteria is first, production ready. Is it ready for production? Are actually teams shipping products with it? Second thing, state management. Does it handle memory? Can we actually handle the state and memory of the agent efficiently? Can we actually observe and debug and monitor our agents in production? And the fourth criteria is community and documentation. How popular the framework is, how mature it is, and how strong the community around it is as well. The first framework that we have here is Flowise. So Flowise has about 50,000 stars on GitHub, and it's a visual AI native workflow builder that we can build AI agents with it like visually by dragging and dropping nodes into a canvas where every node basically represents our agent, where we can connect it to LLMs and tools. We have the LLM node like this one, for example, and the LLM node can be connected to vector stores for vector databases and drag. It can be connected to structured output, so you can tell your agent to output structured data, and it also has tool nodes. So the tool nodes can be connected to external tools, like for example web search, calendars, emails, and so on. And it also supports API calls. The pros of it is that an AI visual builder, specifically for RAG and AI agents, it's fairly easy to use, right? Like you just drag and drop, and then you can test it there immediately. The cons is that it's less mature than other frameworks like N8N, for example, smaller enterprise, and now it's also coming into a transitional state. So based on all of that, I will put it actually in C tier because it's just a visual builder. It doesn't have an SDK where you can actually programmatically get the code of your agent and modifying it. And therefore, it's like less flexible to build production systems. For that reason, I'll put it in C tier. Now let's go to the second one. So the second one that we have here is PydanticAI. So PydanticAI is built by Pydantic. Pydantic is a Python library for data validation. It's like probably the #1 data validation library for Python. And then they decided to ride this like AI hype and to build their own AI agent builder. Their claim is PydanticAI is a Python agent framework designed to help you quickly, confidently, and painlessly build production-grade applications and workflows with generative AI. Yeah, their goal is for you to build like production-level type-safe AI agents. That's their focus. They have the typed agent. So the typed agent, that's what they focus on. This is basically their like North Star, where agents produce structured output. The structured data in this output is like type safe and like data validated. Also, they have model agnostic, which is a very good criteria because model agnostic means that you can plug in any LLM of your choice. And it's also ID autocomplete, type safe, durable execution, streaming, and graph support, which is also good. But what's also matters is that they have Pydantic Logfire. Pydantic Logfire enables you to observe how the agent is performing the tasks. So the pros is that it's built by Pydantic team. So it's like they have good trust. Model agnostic, fast API-like, durable execution, MCP integration, Pydantic Logfire. Cons is that it's like also pretty new framework. It doesn't have the big community around it, and it also doesn't have like the major implementations of memory that we will see in other frameworks. There are limited production case studies. I haven't actually seen a lot of them. Tight coupling with Pydantic ecosystem. If you don't want to be coupled with the Pydantic ecosystem and the Logfire, then this might not be the right choice for you. I'll put it in B tier because it's like you can build much more flexible and production ready AI agents than Flowise, for example. And now let's go to the third one, which is OpenAI Agents. So OpenAI Agents is built obviously by OpenAI, and it has the following features. Build an agentic framework with the agent builder. So it has an agent builder where you can build by also like dragging and dropping nodes into a canvas. You can build an AI agent. For example, this AI agent is a customer support agent. In addition to their AI agent builder, they also have like connection to OpenAI LLMs, and you can also equip your agent with tools and guardrails. They have also implemented that. They implemented like tool use and the guardrails. They also implemented vector store, file search, embeddings, and drag to provide external knowledge to the LLM and to also provide memory. They also have the control flow logic, which is basically the conditional edges that I've made a video about. You can check it out here. Here probably. Write your own code. You can check the code of the agent builder, which is something that we couldn't do for Flowise, for example. So we can download the code and we can like pretty flexibly modify the agent. They also have an evaluation feature, so where you can evaluate the agent responses. They also have some solutions for deployment. So for example, ChatKit, so where you can basically customize some UI components for your AI agents. and you can basically integrate them into your application. Their agent SDK has 15,000 stars. They have a good community. You can basically contribute to the open source. So it's an official OpenAI framework. It's provider agnostic, lightweight and simple, replaces Swarm production ready. In my previous video last year, I talked about OpenAI Swarm, and we also talked about that they explicitly said that OpenAI Swarm was just like an experimental version to see how people are interacting and building AI agents in production. And now it's like they graduated to OpenAI Agents and the Agent Builder and the Agent SDK and so on. The cons is that it's also fairly new, a smaller feature set, less tooling than competitors, still evolving. So, and it's also, I will add one to the cons, is that you are also tied to the OpenAI ecosystem as well. I actually give OpenAI an A tier, solid A tier. Everything you can build with AI agents you can do with OpenAI, and I would not hesitate building a project with OpenAI agents, for example. Okay, now let's go to the next one, Google Agent Development Kit. So it's an open source code first Python framework for building. It's not like a visual builder like you would see in Flowise or in OpenAI Agent Builder. It's built for building, evaluating, and deploying sophisticated AI agents with flexibility and control. So that is their goal. That is their positioning. They want you to build, to be able to build enterprise solutions, basically. Yeah, it's actually also relatively new. It has 16 or 17,000 stars on GitHub. They also have a lot of samples that you can learn from. So this is a good point. And these samples are in different languages. So you have like samples in Python, and you have like a lot of agents for different use cases. So the pros, it's MCP server integration, enterprise security, and Google backing. The cons is that it's new, less mature ecosystem, of course, than, for example, Pydantic, I would say. Pydantic is more mature. It's a good fit for Google Cloud, but maybe for other cloud providers, it's not obvious how you can integrate it with it. Also kind of playing catch up. So it's a good point here that they're trying like to catch up to the other, like to the AI train or to the AI hype for building AI agents. Also, it has a smaller community than other frameworks that we saw. Therefore, I probably would put it in a B tier. Okay, so now let's go to the next one, which is N8N. N8N is actually the most popular framework that I have here. That's actually for a reason, because it's very easy to use and you can build a lot of interesting applications with it, and you can also automate a lot of things with it. But it's very worth mentioning that N8N is not an AI agent framework. It's not an agentic framework like to build AI agents. It's an automation platform. It actually started as an automation platform, and then it evolved to an AI automation platform. And now you can actually build some AI agents with it, but it's not an agentic framework, or it's not an agentic platform. And I'll explain you why. So what is an automation? An automation is actually a set of steps that execute automatically. They get triggered automatically and they get executed sequentially without the user intervention. So you can automate some workflow, for example, to read your email and then classify the email into like tags that you specify. And that happens automatically whenever you receive an email. So it doesn't include your human intervention. Now, AI automation is when one of these steps in the automation include an AI model, like an LLM or image generation or like a generative model. Now, an AI agent is something completely different. An AI agent is basically an LLM that has tools and runs in a loop. So it's kind of like a thinking system that thinks about the problem, plans what tools to use, and then goes and like dynamically uses these tools. Okay, so now what the pros of N8N? Of course, it has like the best community, I think now, and it's an open source one. Also, you can like self-host it. Visual workflow builder, very easy to use. No code required. A lot of integrations, like you can have like hundreds of integrations that are already built for you on N8N. Production automation proven. A lot of businesses actually use it, and a lot of people use it. That's why it gained its popularity. And also, it's like the barrier to entry is very small. The cons is that it's less control over complex agent logic. So that's why I actually don't consider N8N as an agentic platform, because for AI agents, you cannot actually build complex workflows and complex agents with it. The reason is that the AI agent itself, like this node itself, has been implemented by N8N. By default, you cannot write the code for the agent, or like you cannot basically write the tool node for yourself or customize it for yourself. To do that, you need like to fork their repo and do that yourself. Visual can get messy at scale, exactly. So whenever you basically try to build something that goes to production, you will like very quickly find out that your workflow is going to become very messy and very difficult to scale. Also, no code first for developers. For that reason, I think N8N in C tier, maybe B, but like it's difficult for me to put it in B because Pydantic and Google ADK are code first AI agent native frameworks. For that reason, I'll put it in C tier. Okay, now let's go to the next one, which is like CrewAI. CrewAI has like around 42,000 stars on GitHub, so it's also fairly mature. I would say like the community around it is pretty good. Now let's see what features they have. So CrewAI, they have agents, tasks, and crews. Crews are basically like a set of agents. They also have like knowledge integrations, LLM agnostic. You can integrate an LLM of your choice. They also have implementations for memories, short-term memory, long-term memory, entity memory, contextual memory. They also have a platform. And in this platform, you can actually monitor the execution of your agent. And they also have tracing. So tracing is a very important feature to have when you're building AI agents, because you want to know at every trace what happened, like at every step of the execution, what was the input and output, and what was the update to the state that happened at that point. They also, to their advantage, they have an agent builder. Like they have a visual builder that you can build with it, like by just dragging and dropping nodes as well, and integrating with external tools like Google Sheet. And also, very good thing to have that I believe N8N also introduced recently, that you can build the agent by chat. So you can chat with this agent builder and it will build for you your workflow. Actually, this workflow has been built by this builder, or like by this assistant, that you can just tell it like create a crew that schedules and publishes social media content. And it actually went and it built this workflow for me. For me, it's just like I need now to connect the Google Sheet, and I just need to revise the nodes and the connections between them, the prompts and so on, to make sure that it's working. But it's actually like fairly easy to enter, easy to learn, and therefore it's basically like low barrier for entry. They claim that 60% of Fortune 500 companies are using CrewAI. Also, they have partnered with Andrew Ng. So Andrew Ng is like the legend of education in the neural networks, I would say. I have learned from him how neural networks work, how machine learning models work. It's nice that they are like partnering with him. 1 million monthly downloads. They have like easy setup, role-based abstraction, mature community and documentation. Yeah, their documentation actually is very detailed and mature, and they have like all the concepts explained. And also their community on GitHub, I believe, is also mature. They have like 42,000 stars. Yeah, now for the cons. It's basically less flexible for complex workflows and locked into their pattern. So in CrewAI, they actually have this concept of roles and goals for agents, and also the concept of crews. And crews is like a set of agents that collaborate in order to achieve some task. And every agent has like a role and goal. So like this pattern might not be a good fit for your use case, and you want like some more complex workflow. But in general, because of all these features that they have and the observability and tracing that they have in their platform, and the agent builder and the assistant to build agents, and the SDK, I would say it's pretty safe to build AI agents with CrewAI. And for that reason, I'll actually put it in the S tier. The reason I put in the S tier, because it has all the features that OpenAI has. They are more mature and older than OpenAI, and they are more flexible in terms of the model that you can use. Okay, now let's go to the last one in our list, which is LangGraph. They introduced the concept of like a graph. So you can think of your agent as a set of nodes and edges between these nodes where the state of the graph flows. This graph can be as flexible and dynamic as you might think. So any graph that you can think of, you can actually build using LangGraph. What is cool about this is that you can save the state in a checkpoint at any moment in time. So at any node, you can see the state and you can have a full observability of the state at any moment in time. Also, they have not a visual builder, but they have a visual debugger, the LangGraph or LangSmith Studio. In this studio, you can see how your state is updating in real time and see it how in a visual manner. And also you can have full control over the state input and output at every step in the execution. And LangGraph has also a good GitHub community, about 23,000 stars. So any issue that you face, probably someone else also have faced it. So for that reason, I give LangGraph an S tier with CrewAI. So that was actually it. As a bonus for you, I'm going to leave you the link to this document, and you're going to have this, which is like, what's your priority? So this graph tells you when to use which framework. So depending on your use case, what framework to use. So I'm going to leave you this to read yourself for free in the link in the description. Also, I left for you market analysis. Why market analysis is important in my opinion? Because it tells us, are big companies using them? Ultimately, we don't want just build AI agents for fun. We want to build AI agents that actually work in production and provide some value to other people, and therefore it's worth taking a look at it. I'll also leave it in the description. So yeah, that was it. Thanks so much for watching. As always, see you in the next one. Bye bye.